I want to ask you about the future because one of the names circulating right now, and I've seen this guy getting a lot of love, and I mean a lot of support for the head coaching position, and that is Shane Beamer, a guy that you are probably very, very familiar with. I know he recruited some of the top talent ever in South Carolina history. You think of Marcus Lattimore, Alshon Jeffrey, Stephon Gilmore, Melvin Ingram. Did he recruit you? Was he your guy or no? Or did you ever meet him? Or
Sperry and Ward.
Okay. Did you ever meet Shane Beamer or no?
Yeah. He was there when I came in.
Okay. Well, I just really want to get your take on this entire coaching search because, again, I've seen a lot of your former teammates that have given him – heck, I heard the head ball coach gave him the vote of confidence, which is not surprising to me at all. But there's been the name Shane Beamer. Do what?
You talking about Spurrier?
Yeah, Spurrier. Yeah. Basically just gave the vote of confidence he'd be a good pick for the next head coach.
Okay, where's Shane been?
So Shane Beamer is at Oklahoma right now. He's helping out with their offense. He's under Lincoln Riley. He's coached under Riley. He's coached under his dad, obviously Frank Beamer. Obviously coached under Spurrier. So he's never been like a big time coordinator or obviously a head coach, but he's got a ton of experience. And again, he's a recruit. You know, he's a guy that's been at South Carolina. He's a recruiting guy. But I mean, I guess I'll ask you again. There are names floating all around. What do you want to see from the next head coach? Are there certain qualities? Are there certain things that you specifically would be looking for? Like, what would you like to see from the next head football coach?
Let's see. If I was a head coach going into this particular program where it's at now, I would want to have a coach who wants to find that culture that was built before it started doing this. So I would hopefully it'd be someone open to listening to the Connor Shaws of the world, right? Maybe getting input from Connor on, who can maybe come around from those times to maybe help the program get back to where it is. So that would be the first thing I would say. Someone who's willing to get the old culture back and not maybe just build a whole new culture again, but try to get some of those guys who already have the culture built. Second, relatable, man. Someone who's relatable to the recruits. Someone that people want to play for. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's not afraid to step into someone's mom's home and be honest. You know what I'm saying? So also someone who's going to get South Carolina talent to stay here and not go to these other states and go to Clemson. That's what Spurrier did. He won the state, I feel like. All the top players, when I came in, it was Lattimore, me, Kelsey. We were like the top 3 players in the state. Then the next year you had, the year before that, you had Mr. Football. You had Stephon Gilmore coming in, right? Devontae Holloman, all of them. Then the year after that, you had Clowney. So we kept the top prospects in the
Alshon
too.
Alshon
as well. You know what I'm saying? So then Shaq Rowland.
Yeah.
Things didn't work out with Shaq, but Shaq Rowland was a hell of a talent, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, he was. Yeah, no doubt. He played good football at Carolina.
Yeah, he did, man. It's just, some that goes to them situations with relationships and coaches. Sometimes things is
right.
Yeah, man, that would be the first thing, man. Trying to create that culture by getting the people around that created it. And then second, being a coach that somebody already kind of like, when you talk to them, you want to play for them. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the first 2 things I would say. I would say I know that when I played there, Shane Beamer hated me. So I probably won't be getting a job if he's hired.
Oh, God. Well, there you go. The truth comes out about Shane Beamer. So, no, I think a lot of fans, and I've even said this too, man, I think a lot of fans, and some don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of fans like the idea of Shane Beamer just because he knows what South Carolina looks like when it's at its best. And I think that's valuable. Like you said, as far as getting a guy that's like, if we're talking purely a culture fit, understands the fan base, understands the team, understands the state, like I think he's probably the best bet at this point. Like he's literally done it. You know what I mean?
Johnson though.
Yeah.
Why not Coach Johnson? Why not Coach Ward? Like these were guys that was really next in line.
Well, I'm just saying that because Beamer, his name has been mentioned among the short list, right? You got like Billy Napier, who was the offensive coordinator at Clemson in 2010, but now the head coach at Louisiana. You got, people have thrown around the name Hugh Freeze. I don't think that's going to happen. They've thrown around
about the Coastal coach. Who's that?
Jamie Chadwell, a guy that he turned around Charleston Southern's program, and obviously he's got Coastal Carolina rolling right now, but. You're going to be rolling the dice, I think, no matter what, with any of these guys. There's a lot of guys that are going to be unproven. You know what I mean? And you're going to just have to roll the dice and take a chance. And, hey, it could turn out really, really, really great. I mean, I've told that. So, and that's, it's so funny you bring that up. That's been the rumor that I've at least heard from people is that if Shane Beamer got the job, there's a very strong chance he would bring Charlie Strong in as his defensive coordinator.
I like Charlie Strong. He recruited me at Florida, man. Like, he's a guy that people play for. Yeah.
Like, he was at South Carolina, like early 2000s. Charlie Strong was the defensive coordinator under Lou Holtz. So he's got that's what I'm saying. He's got Gamecock ties as well, which is very interesting. So
yeah, I think you definitely got to bring somebody in, man, that's been here, bro. Like,
well, and so that's I know again, your former teammate Torrey Gurley. One of the things I love that he said is it takes a Gamecock to know a Gamecock, and I'm like, I think there's some validity to that. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. This is a unique job, I think. You got to have the right guy.
Because you got everything you need now.
Yeah.
But you just got to have the right person to put it all.
Yeah.
Maybe someone who started at the school that when none of this stuff was here. You know what I'm saying?
That understands it. Yeah.
They understand like what they got now. You know what I'm saying? Like Florida. When Muschamp was at Florida, he had all that stuff.
Yeah, well, and that I was going to say, too, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but I was talking to your former teammate, Kawan Lewis, a little bit earlier.
Linebacker.
And, and he was talking about, the thing with Spurrier. I mean, as great as he was, obviously, but he said the players always knew he kind of wanted to be in Gainesville. Like, it wasn't, South Carolina wasn't his school. I mean, obviously did great things, but he was a Gator, right? There's no denying that. So, and we were just talking about, I think, a lot of fans think how cool it would be, like a guy like Beamer, where it's like, this is his dream job. Like that would be, it'd be cool. I don't know. I just, I'm not, and that's not me saying that he's the best pick or that, he would have crazy success, but I think there's some value in that. I do think there's value.
It's probably about time for Beamer to get his head coaching job. It's been, I haven't seen him in probably 6-7 years. But at the time he was definitely an intense coach. He definitely
he coached DBs, right? When you were there, or did he coach special teams?
Special teams.
Okay. I think he started his career at Carolina with DBs and then moved to special teams. But yeah.
So he was very, very strategic, very smart coach. When he talked, people did listen. And he was someone that you could talk to, even though me and him had our ups and downs. Reason why me and him had our ups and downs because my redshirt year they wanted me to give up my red shirt like the 8th game of the year against Tennessee to basically like block on kickoff return. I'm like, no, bro, like I'm not doing that. You feel me? So that was one of the reasons why we fell out. But other than that, man, he was a good coach. Our special teams was good that year, which is very important. So he has that coaching pedigree. You know what I'm saying? You really can't take that away from him either. So probably would be a good choice.